Hey everybody, it's Bust with Expedition Trial number 451. Let's jump on in and see what shows up. Maybe it's something cool. Alright, not the coolest, but it'll be serviceable here. And so I guess this will be the time to come down here and just draft Kennen. The Z is fine. It's probably the best option out of the three, but Kennen is the new and exciting champion, and we haven't drafted around this recently. So that is where we'll take this one. So let's take a moment. We're getting pulled up on the site. If you're not familiar, we are just going to ftpbus.com. We're just going to make our way onto the front page, down to this little drop down thing, find the Kennen, and take a peek at what lives with this one. This was Foxy Ninjas, I do believe. Still hate the name. The archetype is kind of kind of whatever. But at any rate, the Kennen. And so, yeah, this is an archetype. It pairs off with Ari. I'm sure if you've been playing any of the constructed these days, you're familiar with Kennen Ari. It's one of the most powerful decks out there at the moment. And so, what we tend to see with this out of Expedition, though, is I think it just typically turns into an elusives deck. You have a couple of options. You can either stick to Bandle City only, and try to have it just like a go wide type of strategy with we typically see out of these. Or you can take the partner pairing into Ionia and try and chase after the elusives. And so I'm kind of okay with either one. If we're in Bandle City, one of the big things we're looking for is just tons and tons of conchologists. This is kind of one of the premier just units in general in the game. 2-for-1s everywhere. There's great cards within Bandle City, whether or not that's something like Pokey Stick or Purpleberry Shake. You can also, use it to fuel any of the discard strategies via like Rumble or something if you like. And so lots of great things that we can do in those terms. The go wide stuff, just kind of keep in mind like what would work well if we are drafting Poppy. That's what you would want to have in that kind of thing. Things that just boost all of your units because it's very easy to have tons of them on the board. Or if we go into Ionia and draft the recall kind of strategy, the way that kind of balance typically goes is the key unit is going to be Navori Conspirator. That is the kind of premier recall unit, if you ask me. Instead of playing the spell recall or playing a bunch of homecomings or something, I typically like to be a little bit more interactive on the board, and we're looking for Navori Conspirators. And so then the way that you advance that is if we're going to take advantage of Navori Conspirator, what works well with him, and that's where we're going to come across things like Otterpuss out of the Kennen archetype, but then more so things like Navori Blade Scout, Inspired Mentor out of Ionia, and then if we're playing all of that, right? If we pick up the Blade Scout and we have the Navori Conspirator, then we might as well just go ahead and draft elusives and start looking for Green Glade duos as well. And so, two reasonable options that could come out of this. I think those are the two strong ways to really approach this Kennen here. But let's go ahead and jump into the next pack and see what that one brings. Not a lot of good stuff here. Like Thunderfist isn't that great unless we already are in Ionia getting all of the recalls. And then if we're playing recalls, we don't really want to play this guy because he doesn't have elusive. And then with the Bienemone, this is very fillery to me. And so not a great start with Kennen, but we'll see what we can piece together out of these. And okay, so all right, yeah, there's the two options here in my mind. I'm not going to go for Misfortune. I don't like playing with Misfortune unless we have ways to attack multiple times in the same turn. You really need to be in Demacia for that to happen. And then, in my opinion, Bilgewater is just the worst faction in the game at the moment, and so don't really want to chase those down. And so that brings us back here to either Pantheon or Karma. There's not like great pairings with Pantheon inside of Bandle City. You can come up with like some. Maybe I'll play Conchologist and generate a targetable spell, so I'm not actually casting real spells. But in general, that's like kind of hard and kind of a reach to pull off. Pantheon really wants to be paired in with something like Demacia, where you have better targets and things like single combat and concerted strike. And so we will go with the Karma pairing down here. Not the strongest one in the world. This stuff here is very expensive. But I think we can come together and make this work. And so let's take a peek at this Enlightenment Karma real quick. I thought Oh man, this is the bad one, right? I thought that this might have been the one that magically has Green Glade Duo in it, but it is not. This is just the trashiest of the trash archetypes here. And so Green Glade Lookout could potentially be okay, letting us pull off some more recall strategies. This one has Will of Ionia, where we would prefer to have Homecoming. And then I could see us maybe making usage of something like Scattered Pod. But yeah, not a lot that we're actually looking for in this archetype. It must be the other Karma that has like the actual real cards in it. Yeah, this is just a super bloated archetype at this point. But you can kind of see here at least what we're talking about, right? Navori Conspirator would be our big build around card in terms of recalls. Navori Blade Scout's a great one drop, so you can play the Conspirator on 2. Woodland Keeper is a pretty reasonable elusive bro to go in and get a bunch of combats going. And then we have Green Glade Duo down here in the rare space. And so that's what we would realistically be trying to pull off. There's also the Mourned down here as well. And so, yeah, the total recall karma would be a great addition. The Enlightenment, not so much. But it at least gives you an idea of what we're trying to pursue with a deck like this. We got to find some kind of way to make all of this work. Okay, then here out of this one, I'm just going to go with the Tornado Warrior. Kind of two things coming out of this pack. I don't want the game to think we're trying to draft Enlightenment. Every time we have one of these Enlightenment packs show up, it's basically just a dead pack, right? The cards in that archetype are just so bad. Like if we're going to have 3 options out of each pick, this is just hamstringing us on every synergy pick. And so I don't want the game to think we're doing some kind of karma build around an enlightenment. Ideally, we could find like an elusive real quick, and it would be like, oh, you're trying to do the recall thing, but that may not be something that we're quite able to do. And down here, so this is the other things that we're looking to see. Like Slice and Dice is the Kennen Yasuo archetype, and it has all the cards we want in it. So we'd love to see Foxy Ninja's Slice and Dice show up. It is hopefully not this enlightenment. So we're going to take the Charm and the Tornado Warrior. It's at least an early game play. And see if we can't get this assembling together. All right, well, not a bad pick here with the Mentors. This Yordle Captain is a great build-around kind of thing in terms of if we're going for the go-wide Bandle City type strategy, which we could still land in. He still works great with a lot of the early game plays, and so happy enough to add him in. Bandle Commando is just a fantastic unit on her own, and so looks pretty good to me. All right, yeah, see, just another enlightenment. It's completely worthless for us. I can kind of see us. I think at this point we are going to have to just switch into the go wide Bandle City kind of strategy. We might incidentally have some of the recall stuff, but it hasn't shown up in any kind of density for us to be okay, right? We don't have any elusives in our deck. We do already have the Yordle Captain. We're picking up a Yordle Smith here. We're just going to be switching into what looks like a Poppy deck, and hopefully we can pick up Poppy out of our 3rd and 4th champion packs. Okay, so that's working out. I think I am still okay with adding in Navori Conspirators, though. We may not be all in on the elusive strategy, but these could still be quite good. Whether or not it's returning a conchologist or what have you is still a pretty decent addition. I don't want Yordle contraptions. Like the Commando's fine, the contraption's trash, the Lookout's trash. Hopefully we'll quit seeing these Demacia cards show up after this pack, and then Mentors won't look nearly as bad. Okay, yeah, see, this is the kind of Mentors pack we're talking about, one with Yordle Smith and Yordle Captain, looking extremely good. So this is, like, at least very promising to me. Like, we are still getting kind of, like, boned, and that there's this Enlightenment karma down here, but the Yordle Smith is completely fantastic. I'm glad to have the Mentors show up. And it does make me kind of feel like we could pick up Poppies in pack Champion 3 and 4. All right, fairly weak set here. We'll just go with the Green Glade Duo. Still works, if we're playing a go wide strategy and we just like slam 3 1-drops on turn 3, that's a lot of boosting into a Green Glade Duo. All right, the hits keep coming. Yordle Ranger is fantastic. We haven't picked up too much top end at this point. I always worry about getting stuck with a bunch of Windsingers and Yones and Minas and just this like really expensive crappy top end. The Yordle Ranger is not crappy. So that'll be a good addition. The only thing I'm kind of worried about at this point is we don't have too much interactivity. We just have the charm. And so we need to find some combat tricks or some more bounce spells beyond just this one Will of Ionia, but our units are looking pretty strong at this stage. Okay. Well, I think we want to continue on with the twos. The Stone Stackers and Vandal Commando both quite strong. All right, and they show up again. I'm not opposed to picking up Quickens, but uh, just the twos are where we're at here. Seeing these things, I knew this was going to happen with Enlightenment. I was hoping that we could, pick up a Conspirator and it would switch us to Total Recall, but just a dead pick every. Like, this is basically just saying, 1/3 of your synergy picks are completely gone this whole draft. It's fucking pain. let me stop and groan about it a little bit. But here, this is great. This is a fantastic discipline pack. The Windfarer Hatchling is premier with this kind of strategy. It's very easy for us to have 5 units on the board. Throwing that boost onto all of them is extremely good. And then the Spirit's Refuge is great in these decks trying to race. You can win and take over tons of races with him. Okay. Do we want to go for the Kinku Wayfinder into Kennen's type strategy? I don't think so. That's not it. We're too far away from an allegiance to chase something down like that. I'm not opposed to picking up the Navori Conspirator and then maybe trying to trade this away. But seems like a bit of a stretch here. How do we feel about Godwillow Seedling in this one? Do we have? I'm looking. The card that plays really well with Godwillow Seedling is the likes of what's he called? That 3/1 that gives your hand +1/+1. Greenglade Elder. Like we don't have cards like him, though. Like we don't have a lot of things to boost with the Seedling. So this is kind of tough. Like the Pompous Cavalier's trash. I'm looking just pick up this Woodland Keeper as kind of the best unit out of all of these. I think that's where we'll go. The Seedling, maybe we can trade it away. Dang, I saw this. I thought this was a Young Witch Greenglade duo pack and got really excited. That's not what's happening here, but this is still the take, I believe. These lookouts, while not that great, should have a decent home in this deck, right? We do have tons of Yordle Smiths, and so good chance this could make a really strong quick attack and maybe get to work across multiple turns. So that's good. Here's a Greenglade Elder. All of these trades are fantastic. Well, not the Yordle Smith, but trading out the Bienemone for a Conchologist or the Lead and Follow for the Elder. Both are quite good. I think I'm just going to trade out the Bienemone for the Conchologist. We are really hurting for interactivity, and I'm happy to be generating the spells with this. Okay, interesting. I thought that turned out well enough. It was a nice pivot from the strategy that we expected to be drafting in the elusive base deck, and then actually just working with what was delivered to us. But not bad. So here, you know what we're doing. We do have to go and turn something premium, and we got some choices out of this one. With the commons here, it's either going to be Stone Stackers or the Thunder Fist, and I'm going to go with the Stone Stackers. We're going to trade this Thunder Fist away as soon as we can, and so the Stone Stackers will always have a home here. So cool. Ready for battle. Let's get on to it. Oof. So yeah, not bad. We had a nice little stream this weekend. If you got to stop by on the Twitch and enjoy our stream, thanks for being there. I was intending on drafting Magic all weekend, and then it was like I did one draft and just didn't want to do it anymore. So we just jumped back into the Runeterra. It's odd for me with cubes. Like I really like the vintage cube on Magic Online, the powered cube, the one that has all the moxes in it and everything. And then the Legacy cube is kind of okay, and then the other ones I don't really like. It tends, if there's not like a really good aggro deck in the format, then it just feels like a shitty cube, and that's kind of how I felt about the one that was out here for this weekend or this week or however long it's out there. It feels like there has to be something to punish your strategy being just draft the most powerful card that you can out of every pack. Because it's like, I mean, we ran into aggro decks all throughout the thing and just kind of annihilated all of them, and it's just kind of an unfortunate way for the format to fall. If it's just like, well, let's just see who drew the most card advantage and can abuse it the hardest. And so, it wasn't my favorite format. I'm sure some people love it. It's just not the one for me. But all right, back to the one at hand. We can drop the Conchologist here. I'm not like really happy about this combat that we're being offered up, but things look a little bit better with this bouncing bomb. We can collect ourselves a 2-for-1 at some point. Not really intending on doing it next turn. Like, I would like to just be a little bit greedy here, drop the Yordle Smith and see if we can't get a good attack in. Like, with his factions, they can have, like, a handful of good units here, but there's not a ton. There's not a ton of 3 health units between Vandal City, Bilgewater, and Ionia. See, look at that. He didn't have one here. Our attacks are looking good. And then assuming he doesn't open on us next turn, we should be able to get a bouncing bomb in. There's just a handful, right? There's Babbling Balladeers out of Vandal City. Nothing is coming to mind in Bilgewater, and then Ionia may have 1 or 2. Nothing is... There's just not a ton of 3 health units. Alright, so how greedy are we going to get with this one? We have to play the Bouncing Bomb now. I think we go with the Green Glade Duo and the Blade Scout. It's a little too risky to throw one onto Fizz. Assuming this bomb hits, this could get us in that, like, sweet space to where opponent decides to try and drop a unit now. You know, since he's got one more space on the board, maybe they drop a 1-drop. It's kind of tough with just 1 mana, but would have been cool if that played out. Now we have to prevent. And so what I'm kind of hoping our saving grace in this game will be is if we can get into turn 6 with the Yordle Ranger. Oh no, we're not going to be able to do this, right? Oh, okay, we can. It'll be on turn 7. But we're looking to make a double lifesteal attack with the Yordle Ranger is what may bring us out of the dregs here. Interesting, picking up Scout. I'm willing to trade this with either Fizz or the Green Glade Duo, but I assume that he's just going to have another unit before that attack's a possibility. And yeah, we just can't attack here. Matriarch is a little too big, but if we get to go into next turn, everything could be okay. He's only got, how much does he have here? Like 4, 6, 9, 10. He's got 11 on board, but it's still pretty tough to get a lethal with what he's presenting. A little less challenging with that coming down. We can block the Duo. Assuming he has, say, like, worst case scenario, he has a Twin Disciplines for Fizz. We can still not die here, right? That's just 10 damage coming out of these. Okay. Definitely blocking the Duo. Get that dum-dum out of here. Okay. So this is a little scary with what's going on here. I want to kind of do everything. I want to add the Spirit's Refuge and the Charm. That costs 6. I'm going to go ahead and put down the Bandle Commando. I'd like to see opponent just like spend some mana when they don't need to. And see if we can't maybe bait something out before we throw all this stuff down. He did not agree with our with our ideals here. Let's at least just start with the Yordle Ranger and see if he throws a block in front of it or makes it fail. And then we can kind of decide on Charm, assuming this attack works or doesn't. Okay, that makes me feel pretty good. Not a whole lot that they can do for 1 mana. So who do we return to our hand? Thinking the Tornado Warrior. He's probably too good. Let's return the Stone Stackers. Going to recall. Give you vulnerable. You get to hit. You get to hit. Do we have to stop there? You're still okay. If he puts his 3/4 in front of it, it'll survive because of the Yordle Ranger. Okay. Seems alright. I told you the Yordle Ranger was going to be okay. Sure. Now we're at a pretty healthy 17. Lead and follow. Okay, what's what we can do? Like, in an ideal world, we'll be able to just like drop Karma this turn, and then just start drawing the spells. We have 2 turns of drawing spells with Karma, and she still has, a block onto the Brigand if we need to. He is picking up 2 spells this turn. It's a little scary. They all cost less than 3 or less, though, so we don't have to worry about them picking up Homecomings or Will of Ionias. All right, what you bring into the party, my dude? Just zap? Is that it? Okay. I'll just pass. It doesn't feel like super worthwhile to get really involved with zap and have a bunch of shenanigans happen. Oh god. Oh, this has the 33% chance to be horrible. Okay, Stone Stackers is fine. Wow. That had a lot of potential to really go bad. What the fuck is this? This costs 10. Look out, 10 mana things. Alright, so how are we going to do this? I don't want to overwrite anything if we don't have to. But if we're going to overwrite, what's it going to be? Like, it doesn't feel like we have the mana to do all of this stuff. I'm thinking that I want to, let's say, just overwrite the Owlcat. It's going to give everything the boost. We can make a scout attack now. He currently doesn't have good blocks on our Tornado Warrior. And then we can hopefully crush here. And the idea being, if for whatever reason we need to, say, lead and follow the Windfarer Hatchling, then we can still get another turn of the +2 bonuses, but hopefully it won't come to that. Our board's going to be huge. Maybe a world where we would rather just lead and follow the Yordle Ranger so it can get in another million attacks. Over here. Here comes something. So this is our opportunity to lead and follow the Ranger if we want. It's just kind of like the downside with this turn is if well, I guess like trading the Hatchling for Zap isn't that bad. So we'll bring you back. Then everything will get quick attack except Tornado Warrior. I think we have to leave Karma back because this dum-dum's big. But like these can all attack. We should probably leave the Tornado Warrior back. Okay. We just need Tom, right? We've got this 10 mana thing. It can be kind of odd with this, but if we hit, say, like a 4, a 5, and a 6, it's just tons of mana to throw down for next turn. So I think this should be fine. You can technically, if we're banking, play the Woodland Keeper and then play the Treasured Trash afterwards. Because it doesn't cut into the number of cards you can play. You can only play 3 cards this round. Oh, 3 more cards this round, right? So it wouldn't count towards the Woodland Keeper. Sure. Gain them healths. So yeah, let's bank this 3 and have that be our idea for next turn. We'll play the Woodland Keeper, then we'll play Treasured Trash afterwards. Oh wow, he actually hit the hit the Tornado Warrior. Not bad. Okay, yeah. The Flawless Duet's not doing anything here. We're going to be enlightened. I guess this isn't a particularly exciting card. Well, this might be cool. Is this going to be cool when we double up on this thing and then and then Karma can double the spells once they come off of this? Do we get to play 6 cards off of this? You can only play 3 more cards. So it's like you can only play 3 and then only play 3. I assume it's going to stop at 3 like that, but could be cool. Also, we've really kind of cut into the number of cards it can generate. Maybe we have to look to not play it this turn. I forgot we're going to get another card off of Karma. So we got one generated card from the Owlcat and another one from Karma to kind of mess up our big mana ideas here. Not bringing a whole lot. I think it's okay if we end up losing our Karma. We just need to not die. But I'll at least block with Karma onto the 1 attack unit, so if they have another Twin Disciplines, it's not nearly as worrisome.
Time to reveal our superior battle tactics. First step's the hardest.
We want. It's like I don't want to add Bandle Commandos to the board because I don't want the Owlcat coming into our hand. What a weird spot to be in. We will add the Keeper though. Get it boosted with the Yordle Ranger. Oh god, I'm worried now. He's gonna he's gonna prank our Treasured Trash. So we should probably do this before we attack though, right? Like, what if we hit a Twin Disciplines and we want to give something +6/+6? I think we should definitely do it before we attack. It's gonna be sweet. You saw it here first. I don't know why people aren't doing this in Constructed. Okay. Ooh, that was scary. That was scary. Alright, Karma, double it up. So what do we got? Is any of this stuff cool? No. There is Buried in the Ice. I take that back. Some of this stuff is cool. You know, Radiant and then Buried in the Ice. Well, Shared Spoils is our last one. This is gonna be pretty sweet though. I take everything back. That's the stuff, am I right? I know a cool play when I see it. Pretty sweet. So what do we got left? We'll just swing. Alright. Cupcake that one right up. It's all those like cheap cards like the Shared Spoils and the 2/2 tough elite guy and all that, and I just assumed we didn't hit anything cool. And then I saw Buried in the Ice. That's pretty sweet. But alright, we're gonna be a Poppy deck now. And so a very easy take for her. These other packs are kind of trash anyways. But also importantly, we pick up our first mini morph. I really don't like going through the draft without hitting one. And I don't. We may have seen one, but we definitely didn't end with one. And so mini morph here is quite good. Keeper's Verdict is still serviceable as well. It works out nicely against a lot of the Pantheon decks. Both of those cards are extremely good against Pantheon. You gotta worry about if he's gonna flip or not. Okay, and then the Battle Scars. It's got the whole Battle Scar squad over here. I think we can keep something like this. Do our elusive thing with the Bandle Commandos. All the Bandle Commandos. Need Poppy real hard with a hand like this. The captain isn't really good about taking care of this quickly. Oh man, is this going to be Poros? Oh man, it is Poros.
Baddies beware, Mama's got a gun.
100% blocking. Got to get these guys off the board. Alright, maybe he's not. That's like a very suspect attack if he's actually playing Poros. Just in terms of its... they're typically coming at you with, say, like Poro snacks, and getting in 1 point of damage isn't worth a point of health onto the commando. Probably shouldn't have played this Outcat though. If we're just going to drop in the Yordle captain. Okay, shouldn't be anything that can threaten the captain. There's a lot of +3s out of these factions, but not +4s.
Yes, Mama, it's the beast, Mama.
Guard, he's certainly gotten big on us. The Owlcat's never going to get to attack here, or never going to get to deal damage, so let's jump in with the Elusives. Not opposed to trying to return one to our hand at some point, but this 3-mana bank into the next turn's not that bad. We have blockers for literal days against these dum-dums, and now if he's going to make the same play where he tries to hook our Yordle captain with a Braum, then we can mini-morph. Still mini-morph through this. Interesting choice that he hooks the spell shielded Owlcat now.
Praying and praying. This is Mama's house.
It's like it almost feels like Brahm's not even good enough to warrant this, but let's see. This doesn't work all the time, but at least his Brahm's out of the way. How do we feel about banking the mana here? It's like we have two options. It's like, do we want to spew all of these Owlcats off and open? That actually doesn't seem that bad. Like his blocks with the Hearthguard and the Mighty Poro are not good. Alright, now we're getting to the space to where a single Poro Snacks is going to end the game on us, but I think we're probably too far behind at this point, but we'll keep at it. Might be able to get enough elusive damage in. Right, as long as he's not hitting us with overwhelms, then we're okay. Just do your best, okay?
I forgot our loot. We have to improvise.
All right, then maybe we should have left a space on our board so we can play Yone, but gotta see what they snatch up here. We have to play Yone, and so let's at least stop these overwhelms. Not the spell shielded one, but the other two. We gotta keep these Bandle Commandos just in case. Gotta make sure that we can kill him with elusives. And if we do it like this, I think I like it. Just fully protect our unit running into the Poro sled. We're gonna lose the Bandle Commando. All right. The only downside to that was we didn't gain max health here, right? Could have technically gained a little bit more health. We did not. Tornado Warriors, not what we're looking to do. Really needed a Poppy. So what are we gonna do here? Like, we still have a charm. Like, we can charm one of these overwhelms. And then I think we still need to just be slamming in with all of our ground-based dudes. So, I mean, we get the Alcats going. And Vladimir. It's like there was like Caitlyn in the back of his animation. That was weird. Oh, we're full. Can't return Yone. My new idea is that we're going to slam Yone into Vladimir so that we don't get hit with the drain next turn. All right. Now we got this sweet boosted elusive as well. Look out. Look out.
On it and on 'em.
You are safe with Brawl.
All right, something like that. Yep.
Eat and grow strong. Just do your best, okay?
You just do your best, okay?
Welcome to the team.
I'll show you. Make sure I can cyclone quickness.
All right, hopefully that's enough stats. I ultimately, ooh, Yordle Captain number 2. if we had enough time, we could maybe do it. All right, we fall to 4.
Follow me. I know where I'm going. Follow along, little ones. My friend.
Big as Braum, he's about to flip. Because he's like the worst target to have to hit with Keeper's Verdict. Yeah. How close are we? We can do it. The problem is, do we have enough space on board for all of this to work? So we return you with the Conspirator, make a 3/3. Oh, we're going to be one short. F. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. I'm going to say we can make a 3/3 here. Replay. Oh, no, we have an impact. Oh, maybe we did get it. Need the copy of you. We'll play the Conspirator, return the Lookout. Play the Bandle Commando. And then we can impact for 1. Oh, fuck me. Are you serious? Oh, I played the wrong one. God damn it. Fuck. Okay. I have to attack with this stupid thing so we can get another guy on board. God damn it. We would lose to like a frostbite, right? If he had a way to stop that. Fuck me, we should have won that. Alright, well maybe we'll be gifted an extra turn or something. He just doesn't decide to attack with this stuff. Oh, that's fucking frustrating. I slapped the wrong unit down. Alright, let's see if we can't recover out of that. I'm pretty sure we pulled out that one that we didn't deserve. That's lame. Alright, moving forward though. I don't think we want Lee Sin. We have not nearly enough spells to support him. I don't like playing Jeweled Protector unless I'm in a elusive deck, so we'll let him stay away. I think I'm kind of interested in Memory's Cloak though. Lead and Follow is not that strong in this deck. Let's take the Denial Light. Oh, what a sad way to go. I can't tilt on that. You just got to get yourself right back in the ground. You know, it was nice that we found the angle to win. That was the important thing there. Just don't make that mistake when it counts. All right, so can we get rid of the Lookout? I think we need to. I really want to be finding our units that support our go wide strategy. So we want to be finding our Yordle Smiths. We want to find our Yordle Captains. We want to find our Poppies. So got to keep a little bit of something to do in the early game, but these big builder rounds are really important. Poros again. Oh man, I hope we can do it twice in a row. I'm elusive. Give us a little bit of luck to make up for that last game. just a little bit. We deserve it. All right, he's definitely playing Poros. This is it feels like a really weak matchup for us. I felt like that last one was pretty lucky. But we can still combat through a Poro snack with this one. Can't combat through the 3/3 though. Okay, he's out of mana, so we should be able to shut down most of this attack. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, let's get the elusives going. So, we want a Conspirator back this dum-dum. Maybe we'll find something really cool like Impact or find a Scout. Scout would be really nice. And then next turn we can hopefully get ourselves in a pretty good situation with the Spirit's Refuge. You got Iceborne Legacy onto Braum. Okay. Okay. Might be okay. Fury of the North. We can Spirit's Refuge through these shenanigans. Alright, alright. We'll add our Conchologist, see if we can't get ourselves a good spell. I'm going to go with the Electro Harpoon since it can go face. And then we'll add in the Bandle Commando. See where we're at. Shit, this guy. Oh, he has lifesteal left over. I was like, oh my god, this guy got boomed, hitting the lifesteal every turn.
Serving less.
Okay, we won't attack with the impact unit though. That feels a little greedy. All right, our trial does not end. Whew. That was a little bit of makeup for the the previous Poro guy's misclick. Good deal. So, how are we going to improve here? I don't think we want Fey guides. It's like moderately interesting just in terms of both like Poppy and Yordle Captain have a lot of these turns to where they just feel like an enchantment, right? They just come down and they're just giving stats to our board. It doesn't 100% apply to Poppy, right? Because she has to attack for her bonus to work, but it can be tough to find places for these units to come out and attack. But that said, do we want to get rid of the Balladeers? The Balladeers are probably okay to get rid of, right? We already have. It feels like we have at least 100 Bandle Commandos. It says we only have 3, but I think I kind of like the idea of this. We've been struggling a bit with our ground game, and it's another one to where it doesn't play horribly in terms of being a recall target, so we can give multiple units elusive if we need to. All right, we'll see how the overlay holds up here. They might have gotten the ads turned off for me. I messaged the people over at Mobilytics and said I make all the sweet content on the YouTubes and on the Twitches. Nope, there's an ad. Hey, how about you turn the ads off? Because I don't want to use LOR Guardian anymore. Sounds like they're still working on it. That's okay. I hope that there'll be a replacement at some point one day for the LOR Guardian. It's just it's sad that they've given up on the updates. They haven't updated it. Like someone just asked in the comments, what's the thing with the values on it? It's LOR Guardian. That's the tracker, but the card ratings haven't been updated since before the Azir set, and so. That's something I was actually looking to do myself, was to update their card ratings. We were getting in on the process, and I don't know if they lost their funding or what, but they went into heavy maintenance mode and very little support, and so the card ratings aren't exactly good. So I've been thinking of a solution of my own and to try and get that kind of thing back out here, but at least Mobilytics is supported these days, and so it's unfortunate in a sense that they're kind of the only one. Like, I think like Blitz.gg is also a big one in terms of are we actually in the game? Can't tell. In terms of being like a League of Legends tracker, and I know that they're also kind of big in the what's it called, the teamfight tactics space. But it's like, I know they put their tracker out and just like immediately went to maintenance mode. But where I was going to get to where it was, kind of sad was like one of the biggest boosts you can get in terms of. You want to drop the lookout? Hang on. Nocturne Callista, we probably just have to do the Yordle Smith. But in terms of like getting publicity for your sites, having Riot publish you when the new cards come out. And when the game was initially released, they were kind of like pumping all of the trackers. I know LOR Guardian was getting the things in advance and stuff. But then they switched to just doing Mobilytics. And I think there's like one other one. It's some weird site I've never heard of. And it seems like it's just going to be the way they do it going on, is just having that one site be the place for all the info. So Mobilytics, with that at least in mind, should probably stay updated forever, and maybe one day Expedition will be super huge and they'll be amped to add some Expedition related features in there. All right, let's see how this continues to go. Opponent doesn't seem to be here. This would be kind of an odd place if they just dropped a Wraith Caller on us now. He was playing Nocturne Callista. This should be a Mist Wraith deck, as the blocks there for him would be pretty decent. I guess if we're trading the captain for the Wraith Caller, then the Mist Wraith can't really block, but had potential to be a bad turn. But no, I've been kind of looking at the tracker space and seeing about doing something with Expedition. I have no experience or desire to program an app. I know there's some open source stuff out there. I've kind of looked to see if I could attach an Expedition kind of ratings guide to. And we'll just have to kind of see in those terms. It's probably something that I'll decide is too much work for me to pursue, but you know, why not investigate? Alright, when's this one gonna end? Got the mid Lorelei over here. I know that's not the name, but it's always Lorelei in my head. She's currently running around in Teamfight Tactics, which reminds me of the Styx song, you know? Maybe it reminds some of you out there of the old Gilmore Girls, if that's if that's your jam. But alrighty, moving on. Taking this Poppy. That's a pretty easy one. She's one of the most important cards we could pick up. The Grenadier I'd like to probably get rid of, and the Keeper's Verdict, but Poppy's just way too important at this point. Right. So yeah, in other life news, this was a real bummer. Shortly after the stream, I went to go and eat some tuna salad. I made a ton of tuna salad on Saturday, and then it's like as I was getting it out, you know, you get some of that like water in the bottom of the bowl, and it's not something that you really want to eat all that much. And so I was trying to get it out of there, and then in the process, I dumped my entire Tupperware tuna salad into the sink. And now, granted, it's not like, you know, you don't want to be eating the stuff in the sink and then you still want to be eating you know, your tuna salad. And so I did manage to like scrape some of it off the top so that we weren't just like losing all of it. But man, it was a sad day. It's like it's just like watching Kevin from The Office and his big pot of chili. Takes the stumble, the chili all falls to the ground. It was brutal, man. It was brutal.
Everything's better with company.
But yeah, you just kind of pick up some off the top and still put it on your bread before you just throw it all before you throw it all away. What are we gonna do here? It's like we should be able to at least get a Green Glade Duo attack, and it's just like we get blown up by a Pale Cascade if we attack with the Stone Stackers. We probably have to wait on Poppy. Okay.
They'll never see us coming.
Trying to decide what level of greed we can use here, because we want to... it's like, you typically want to like drop Poppy on your opponent's turn and then open attack with her, but it doesn't feel like that's going to be good enough. Things have just changed now that we picked up Spirit's Refuge, though. He's going all in on the single unit, not spreading it out. So if we manage to find a mini-morph or something, it will make this especially good. He's going to pass. That's fine. Poppy part 2. She also flips into the Keeper's Verdict.
Are you the one?
Are you the one?
Together, stranger.
How bad is that? It's a 3-5 on the left. Okay. Not that bad. Getting there. We're getting there. He's nowhere near lethal next turn. It's like we don't even have to bother with this Keeper's Verdict if we don't want to. And I'm starting to lean towards not even bother. We'll see what they can present to the board here, but
Oracle, tell me of my death.
I see two
that's annoying, but whatever.
forever in silver rain.
All right.
Remember to
LOL.
All must follow.
All right, let's see what kind of big attack we can get in now. Don't want to block these. It's just these decks have so many combat tricks. I don't really want to fool with it. How do we feel about drawing the Grenadier, though? We're not going to play this, right? If we miss the Allegiance, this is just way too bad. So Stone Stackers, Vandal Commando, Yordle Smith all coming down. This would be a good turn for them to like drop a Pantheon. But stun onto Poppy, that's okay. Not ideal, but it's okay. Have we changed our mind? I think the Grenadier is probably better though now. Now that our units aren't going to get boosted in the quick attack and everything. Or we could look to do this. Maybe I like this more. We'll return the Green Glade duo, replay the duo, and get a 5-hit in. Kind of, well, he's going to play more cards. It was like, I kind of like getting these impacts as well, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be a thing.
Hey, Krabby.
That's my resting face.
What do we think of that? If we're hitting for 3, 4, 5, that would be for 6, for 7. Take him to 6. He's got too many good blocks now.
Move. They'll never see us coming.
But that's the, why you're typically looking to open with Poppy. It's very easy to hit her with rando slow spells that make things just not work. So bringing in the burst attacks, or are we going to get to Yone? We're going to get to Yone.
Yasuo, show yourself.
Okay, now he's down to 1 card as well.
I am ready.
Not gonna just eat all of this. It's too dangerous going into the next turn. We
Humility before power.
sure. He's gonna Pale Cascade this Crescent Guardian, take down Yone. That's completely fine. So, I mean, we are at least reasonably safer now to not count on this open from Poppy. Ooh, and Fair Hatchling. Don't mind if I do.
Baddies beware. Mama's got a gun.
Don't mind if I do.
Oracle, tell
That shit's
me of
annoying.
my death.
Where are we at now? This is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, and then +1 from Poppy. Okay. Here come the stats.
Serving lead. Let's move. Hey, they'll never see us coming.
Something like that. Poppy still boosts everything. Cool. You can still do stuff. I mean, he can play a Hush or something that would be kind of suck, but he's not big enough to stop our Poppy here, which is a big thing.
You the one.
But he's blocking like it matters. Moonlit Affliction. Jesus. All right, bud.
Cannot turn back.
Together, straight.
Talk about the perfect draws.
My path is set.
Glad we came in and preserved a bunch of health. if I knew we were going to be running into Captain Draw Perfect here, we would have done things perhaps a little bit differently. But the big thing out of this is he's got 18 on board, but we have 2 blockers, and only 2 of his units have overwhelm. So his attacks aren't great. His open shouldn't kill us. Might lose our Poppy in the process, but we won't die. About right. About right. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we manage the magic with the Grenadier. Of course not. Of course not. Let's just go ahead and add Karma. She's not going to give us any cards, but if we draw something like Wind Seeker next turn, I want to be able to play all the cards in our hand to where if we get clever and don't drop the Karma, we can't play a 6-drop. What do we got? Yordle Ranger and Windsinker up in expensive land.
Mama's home.
If you want something done right, let me do it.
On it and on 'em.
Fixed up.
All right, that's as good as we got. Not sure what this will be, like where he doesn't play anything. It's got to be a combat trick. Okay. I like to think we're ahead at this point. Let's hold on to the Owlcat. We don't need it on board right now, and if we draw Yordle Captain, we can still give it a boost.
I will die when I am
All right, didn't draw it.
Only a fool would challenge the Kinku.
All right, let's see if this is enough. Vandal Commando. I think I'd rather just go for the open.
trick is to swing harder.
All right, nice. Oof, got ourselves out of a little mess there. I knew the keeper's verdicts were going to be pretty sweet against the Pantheon deck, and it worked. You know. All right, so what are we doing with these? That is a Zed. He's always incredibly strong, and it's just he works fantastically with the likes of Poppy and the Yordle captains, and so I think that's where we want to go. It's kind of upsetting that we don't have any 1-drops to run around with, but we don't have any combos with Kennen, right? We're not replaying the same unit over and over again or anything, and so yeah, let's go to the old Poppy Zed as people have grown to love and constructed as well. It's kind of fallen off a bit, but you know, it's still out there. All right. So what are we doing? Hanging on to Poppy. I don't like to mulligan her away. I'm going to get rid of the Woodland Keeper, though. It's not super likely to find a promising attack with Poppy. We can't play them both in the same turn.
I never.
All right, bring the booms.
In range.
So we'll see how this turns out. We do have the. I'm looking at this like we can play Poppy on 4 and attack with her, but it's like I'm just looking at this Fey God kind of play now and see where that brings us.
Found you. Yes, Mama is a beast, Mama.
Can contest Green Glade Duo. That's always fun.
Let's move. Set sail. Praying and praying.
Okay.
Mwah.
All right, we are falling fairly far behind here. This is a little odd and unfortunate for a deck like this when we can't play 2/2-drops in the same turn. I think we're we don't have to go with Poppy. Maybe we give her a turn and then just start with the Yordle Captain. He can still attack here. And then look to to just boost up a bunch of units a turn or two from now. Shit's annoying. Why don't you have tough anymore, Stone Stackers?
Love ya. You're all tied up.
Okay. It's gonna be another turn where it's just awkward. Really want to get 2 units down this turn, and we just can't do it.
Steady your heart. Find your feet.
Oh shit, that was bad. I thought our unit was gonna survive that. Oh, now our units aren't gonna grow either. That's a problem. We're just not 100% dead. We're just really close. Oh, Misfortune's gonna flip. This is done. Okay. Ugh, just a little bit too slow off the gun. I'm curious if we... Oh, it would have been much nicer if we could have just spewed off on the board and we didn't have the units to do that. At any rate, that's so weird too. Look at this. We have 15 2-drops in our deck and we couldn't play 2/2s on turn 4. It's insane, right? We got just under half of our deck are 2-drops. But moving on, it's like as much as I don't want Gruff Grenadier and the Jeweled Protector, maybe it's okay. Our only 5 is Karma. We do some bouncing in here. That should probably be fine. But never trading out the Captain, and I don't want to say never on the Conspirator, but it's pretty close to never trading it out. Right. Yeah. Hope you all had a wonderful NFL weekend out there. The Chiefs game was kind of worrisome. I was worried it's not good going into the end of the first quarter with a 0-0 game. But the news story I saw was that the Arrowhead Stadium or the Chiefs or someone put out a statement that they were sorry for the fans in attendance that they ran out of fireworks because the Chiefs scored so many touchdowns. They didn't anticipate needing 6 touchdowns worth of fireworks, and so apology accepted. But at least there were no dramatics in the game, as there were with the Bengals game and with the Cowboys game. All right, on to here. God, I really wish we had some 1s. It's been like regrettable trading away that Kennen. Well, this is, I guess, our way to get them. Just got to use Bandle Commando and hope it hits. I mean, it should hit against this Noxus deck. Alright, and there's not too much to worry about that they can drop here. It's really awkward that they didn't have a 1 or a 2. Maybe we shouldn't be the ones out here complaining. Okay. I'm not quite ready to take those damages. We're gonna be it seems like we're probably gonna be the control deck in this one, and we can start to build up into getting a big poppy turn out of this stuff. But it's like, let's just get all of these elusives going. We can blast for 8. We'll still pick up a 1-cost bird that we can drop and throw in front of the Trifarian next turn, and then we can start to think about getting our poppies going. Alright, this should still be pretty good. We can block his units with the Owlcat and the Woodland Keeper. Picking up Zed is nice. Does that change anything? I mean, we can technically keep his Verdict away LeBlanc, but I'm not upset about taking a 5 here. Let's just let it happen. If he passes and skips combat, then by all means, that's fantastic. Sort of looks like we're going to see a Whirling Death come out, but kind of whatever. Let's put the bird in front of the 5/2 that can actually block. Okay. Let's see how much we can get going on here. We'll drop the poppy.
Today's the day I find that hero.
I was thinking about doing something we don't approve of. Whispered Words is fine. But yeah, this is going to be one of these turns where we're not opening. If he has to, make the decision between dealing with Poppy and dealing with Zed, that feels like a win for us. Like, if he doesn't get to play a unit here and has to throw down, like, the, I don't know, LeBlanc Punch, whatever that thing is called, it feels like a win. Punching Lizard's kind of nasty, but he's not getting good blocks everywhere. Like, we're going to hit, he's going to put the Trifarian in front of Poppy, probably put the Lizard in front of Zed, and then just get blasted. So, I think that's fine.
We haven't met yet.
Okay. Similar. Was this Poppy or is this Keeper's Verdict? Okay, this is the actual Keeper's Verdict. I should have made note of that before we actually attacked. If it's Poppy and flip back into the hammer, back into the unit form.
Fight anymore, that's okay.
So Whirling Death onto Zed. Still feels positive if it is. Falls to 2. Okay. We'll drop the Owl. If he opens with the LeBlanc, this is going to be our best blocking option. Okay, and then we're just asking, hey man, maybe you'll tap out for something irrelevant. That's what we always love to see. Whispered Words, that has to be positive.
I serve a nobler cause.
Alright, no thank you. Yes, you can attack with the Ruined Reckoner twice. I will allow that one.
You won't get past me.
Oh, and group shot? Group shot's on. Okay.
Astounding curiosities lie ahead.
I'll do better this time. Got past me.
Looks pretty good to me. We'll bring the squad here. Shouldn't be anything out of... I mean, you have like 2 Whirling Deaths or something weird and we still beat that, so... Okay. Kato time. Nice. Yeah, it's like when are you gonna give me a Yordle Squire? It's insane. But none of these. We don't have the spells for Lee Sin. I like to keep this nice mix of the Smith and the Commandos. I mean, maybe the Commando is a little bit better, given that we're hurting so hard for 1-drops. And it's like it's serviceable, right? If we hit with the Commando and then on turn 3 we play any of the 2s and then the little bird. We're at a 3-3 split as it is, but the Yordle Smith is one of our good like go wide. Let's do something in the early game because we've been assembling a lot of these games to where we're playing the Green Glade duo early, but we only have one copy. I think we probably need to keep the mix here. We'll just skip over all this. Don't want Sonic Wave. I guess Sonic Wave would be serviceable, but has to the quick attack has to come from one of those Yordle Smiths. But yeah, the Bengals game and the Cowboys game rife with referee questions. I think the Cowboys game was completely fine. I thought the Cowboys play call was great. When it comes down to it, if you want to make 2 shots at a 50-yarder or 1 shot at like a 25 or 30-yarder, I think you're. I mean, I'm sure the math says the 1 shot at the 25 to 30-yarder is much better, and then they just botched the outcome. Like they messed it up. You gotta get the ball going in the right place, and they just didn't do that. The Bengals game though, I thought that was inexcusable with the Tyler Boyd touchdown. What's the point in even having the booth reviews and the New York reviews and everything if you're not going to take it to call back a play like that? And they reviewed it for like an hour, and so it was quite strange to me that was how the day ended. But I don't know, man. I don't work for the NFL, so what's my opinion mean? It didn't happen to the Chiefs, and so it's not that big of a deal. Alrighty, let's get the Young Witch going. This is our most unblockable path that we can have. If we start making Yordle Smith plays and they drop Ruined Dragon Guards or they drop 3/4s for 3 or whatever, the Yordle Smith just doesn't attack into it. But maybe next turn. And it will be kind of interesting if things roll around. Oh, picking up Zed as well. Interesting. Let's just pass. He's going to attack. I would assume he wants to hook the Green Glade duo with the Lieutenant. But the Young Witch also makes sense. I'm fine with this. And we do have to deal with, though, Zed is smaller than a Shyvana. So I thought it was going to be kind of nice that we have the... fuck. As I say, I thought it was going to be nice that we have the Memory's Cloak. It technically makes our... Is she going to go back up to 4 now that she's flipped? Yeah. That's a problem. Bay Guide's an option, but whatever we play is just going to get boned by this Dragon Guard Lieutenant. Alright. You got us. And so yeah, the play with the Bengals, they blew the whistle while the ball was in the air. Should make the ball just be completely dead. And then people on the defense gave up because the whistle blew, guy caught the ball in the end zone. They counted it as a touchdown. And so I thought that was a little absurd that they let the touchdown stand. I had no skin in that game. I kind of wish both teams would lose and then just give the Titans another bye because fuck the Bengals and fuck the Raiders. So if we have it my way, that's the way it would go. But alrighty, moving on. We did pick up our first Yordle Squire. Quite nice. You can see how excellent it is to drop here in the opening turns and then having the spear to boost up a Poppy so she boosts the rest of your team or boost a Yordle Smith or whatever. It's kind of meh when we can't come out and make these plays. Alright. Well, you guaranteed your lurk there. Not bad. Now we're in a bit of a pickle in terms of if he drops like a 3/3 lurk here, it's the what's his name, Yordle Smith doesn't do anything about it. So I'm gonna switch into the Bandle Commandos. Maybe they'll be able to get some magic going. This isn't that bad. it's way too early for a Will of Ionia. We will look to strike down some of his 5 and 6 cost overwhelms with this thing, but not looking to make tempo style plays with it. Another lurk attack. Got it. Oh, and he just doesn't have another one? That's pretty good for us. Alright, this is going to be an open. Well, we'll see. If he plays that, like a 3 health unit now, then we'll have a decision to make, but... Okay, this is just a big quick attack.
You can fry a ferret.
Playing all these Bilgewater ones like anyone cares about those. Shurima is where the good ones are. Man, he's got multiple pikes as well. It's wild. And the Under Titan is the type of unit we'll be looking to hit with the Will of Ionia kind of card. We'll see how this attack shapes up, but...
Hello, anyone want to join my party?
I get some amount of hooks in here. Just the one?
Defensive positions.
And sure. Then if we just bank this mana, we can go into next turn. Maybe we should take a little bit of this. Maybe if we do it like this. If we're going to be dropping the Yordle Ranger. Okay. Since it should technically be bigger than the Hammer Snout. We need to full bank the mana if we're going to play the Ranger and Will of Ionia. Love to see you turning up, Poppy. Just a day late and a dollar short, I think. Gotta have these meaty units out here. Okay. You're super far away from flipping, right? Yeah. Okay, so he has a good block with the Under Titan onto the Captain. Oh, thought he was gonna switch it out the other way. That's fine. Getting the big chunks of damage in. Now if he wants to, say, play the Doombreaker and we just pop it with Keeper's Verdict, then the game will be over. So yeah, I want to keep 6 mana. We'll drop the Bandle Commando. He can't play the Doombreaker anymore, but he could still play something like Rek'Sai. Don't really care what it is. We're going to send it back.
Easy there.
Okay. Works for me.
Today's the day I find that hero.
Pike. Okay. Let's try this again. So we should beat a death from below or whatever. Oh man. Oh man, is he gonna predict into the elusive? Oh, what a world. Okay.
Proud and loud.
tons of mana back here. All right, there's one. All right, ends up one. I was gonna say, oh my god, is this really gonna be double death from belows? It's a little bit short. Man, that was a lot closer than I was giving it credit. Whew, okay. Make our way on to that final battle. So let's see, what are we doing with these? This is tough. I would love to pick up these Conchologists. I don't really care about Windsinger, but the Yordle Ranger is so strong. I think I'm just going to go into the top end here. What do we got? Just immediately get offered up another one. All right. I guess our curve's going up. What else do we have here? Not trading out the Mini-Morph. Getting rid of the Jeweled Protector would... Or the Thunderfist would typically be fine, but I don't really want Jeweled Protector. And then we've just traded out all of our interactions. So I feel like we have to hang on to Will of Ionia. And Karma for Lulu. That works for me. Right, so yeah, switch... start off with the Kennen Karma land on on Zed Poppy Elusives. Not bad. It's kind of strange in terms of with Lulu and the various Yordle cards, in that she can't get boosted by the Yordle Smith anymore. Ever since she got the upgrade to 3/3. She can support Poppy, make Poppy a 3 attack, and then have Poppy boost everything else, though. So, neato little things can happen. Alright, the game begins. I still haven't seen the new Spider-Man, so I gotta get out there. I haven't been real amped about going and sitting in a movie theater with bunch of strangers for 2 hours, but getting close. Getting close to going out there and doing it. But I've heard the new Spider-Man movie is quite excellent from multiple sources, so I have to give it a shot. All right, well, let's see where this turn gets us. If he doesn't play a big boy here, it's pretty tempting to just make this quick attack, and I think that's where we're going to be. The downside to this is it's kind of easy for them to have a trick, right? If he has a Pale Cascade, then this just gets kind of blown up. But like, what if the world we live in is like what if he drops Pantheon and then has a Pale Cascade? Like, that's pretty bad for us. I think we just go ahead and get in here now, and if at the end of the day his play is a no-cycle Pale Cascade onto the Mountain Goat to get a gem, I guess that's okay. But I think things could look pretty bad if we start playing units and he drops Pantheon. Zerath. Same deal. Do we need the Pokestick? It's kind of looking at Pokestick onto the goat. I think I'm more interested in Purple Berry Shake, though. Like turning one of our 2s into a 3. That's really close. This goat's going to be fairly ignorable after this turn. Let's take the Shake. Okay. Obelisk of Power. You got it. Alright, Zerath, I'm ready to block. Nope. Got the shutdown on the turn. Nice. Oh. Oh. Oh, snap. What is this? He doesn't have any mana. Alright, well, I'll take it everywhere we can get. We can't block the Fearsome, but the rest of this stuff It's like I'm tempted to just hang on to our birds. Am I missing? This seems insane to me. Well, I guess we can Purpleberry shake down this Ruinous Acolyte if we want, but it feels fairly low value. Maybe we should have blocked with the Conchologist in place of one, but...
Ready, Scout? Let's take
This is kind of the argument to throwing the blocker in front of the Acolyte makes the Ranger a lot harder to block.
We were never fated to bow.
strike in their flank.
Stand up!
Okay.
Hang on.
And he's not fated? Alright. Bring in the boys. You're welcome to block Pantheon. Just slam it on out here. Falls to 10. Okay. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this Wind Seeker to send Pantheon back. We'll see. Doesn't seem like super necessary.
Then the demon that thought you dead.
It's awkward though, right? If we send the Pantheon back, then he just gets to replay him with Barrier next turn. I don't really like that. Let's just add a big boy. Well, what's he gonna do though? He's just going to gem it. He's gonna load him up with gems. All right.
Forest hides friend and foe alike. Easy does it.
Okay. I'd like to prevent some of this. I mean, this seems pretty okay. Like I think as long as we can keep like progressing the game, this is gonna be fine. And so, the way we're gonna fail is if he has this like giant overwhelm attack that we can't do anything about. Adding in Zed. It's like if we want to Keeper's Verdict away the Pantheon, where does that land us? We'd still have 1 mana. So right, he plays Pantheon, and we just slam him to the top of his deck. So he can't replay him this turn. he can replay him that way.
Serving lead.
Deep breath now. Ill winds blow. Remember this.
Okay.
Together, stranger.
So we're getting in for a few. His blocks are good here. It's like I'm wanting to keep the Conchologist around. Oh, no, I think this actually works out nicely, because our play next turn is to Godwill is Sapling the Conchologist. Okay. That seems good. We're reasonably far away from lethal. 9. So you got +3. Interesting. That's for a Nightfall. All right, we're gonna have to Yordle Ranger just to get the health down. I'm surprised he didn't double gem and open. And then why would he lead with Rockfall Path? That has to be to hit a
Upon our return.
Has to be to hit a Nightfall. I think this works. Don't come down stunned, please. I'm not exactly sure on that one. Okay, it's not an exact copy of the Yordle Ranger. Okay. So the downside with this one is if he has the Pale Cascade, then the Pantheon is just going to kill whatever it blocks. Or right, he's going to survive it. He's going to go up to 6. So we'll try to take down the Crescent Guardian. Still prevent max damage this way. It's just we don't get to threaten the Pantheon, which is a little sad. I'm starting to like this less. Well, I guess leaving damage on Pantheon's not that big of a deal since he can just gem heal it back. Poppy. Okay. Reveled Earth said you gotta stop and see if he can potentially get some rallies in here. Doesn't seem to be the case. Yep, Pantheon's healing. He won't flip for quite a while.
This mama is the beast mama.
Looks like you're just not gonna have any dudes.
Wouldn't be a quest without some danger. Proud and loud.
Alright, well let's see if that's enough. It says it's enough. -3 is what the game is telling me. Got him. Nice. Not a bad little 7 winner. I do say so myself. So yeah, let's get this one. Oh man, that's why I used a LOR Guardian, right? I gotta figure out how to pull this deck list up from from Mobalytics. Oh, that's a problem. Let me see if we can find this real quick. All right, yeah, I just had to figure that out another time. And so, yeah, I think we at least hit off on the big things there, right? Especially as we started off with Kennen. I think kind of the big thing in terms of Kennen is making that decision. Do I want to be in this Poppy style go wide deck, or am I going to be able to chase after the elusives? And depending on the secondary champion and the bucket you find, that's probably going to be a lot of what actually comes out and determines that. And so, I mean, if you find any of the Yasuos, any of the Zeds, the Total Recall Karma, the Ari. Ari, I can't even remember. It's like I think the Ari archetype was actually kind of bad and didn't have the conspirators in it. But the big card I think for Kennen you're looking for is Navori Conspirator, and then again that pushes out to Greenglade Duo and Navori Blade Scout, and then if you're playing all of those cards and you're just playing elusives, right? I think that is kind of the big core Kennen plus Ionia deck, but it's probably still worth a shot, even if you land on this Enlightenment Karma or whatever. But the thing I was worried about with the Enlightenment Karma, and I feel like I called it out on Discord the other day, was the archetype is so shitty that every time it shows up, it's like you're just losing a pick, and so you're really hamstringing yourself if the synergy picks are going to be what's good, and then your wild picks are going to be kind of mediocre, and then so on your good synergy packs you're just hamstrung the whole draft because you have Enlightenment Karma showing up every time. It's a real pain. And so I don't know what it would take to make that swap happen. Like, it feels like we picked up some kind of elusive fairly early, and it still didn't switch us to Total Recall as opposed to Enlightenment, but that is a real problem. But, again, if you're able to, kind of pick and choose what you're doing in the early game there. I think that's ultimately what's going to be real important. We didn't try to do any of the Kennen build around stuff. We know that that's like a bit of a trap, and we just made that distinction. Are we going to be elusives, or are we going to be this kind of Bandle City go wide thing? I wish I could pull up the draft here, but we landed on the Bandle City go wide thing. We got some really good mentors packs early. I can't remember if it was like pick 3 or pick 4 where we were offered up like Yordle quick attacker plus Yordle +1/+1er. I'll leave it up to you to figure out what those cards are, but I think that really kind of set the tone with what we were able to put together from that point forward. Especially if we were able to kind of find like Yordle Explorers or Yordle Squires, then the deck would have really popped off in those terms. And so I think that was probably the big takeaway from this draft is recognizing the direction that your deck wants to go and then chasing after it. So as we always say, you don't want to half-ass your deck. You want to whole-ass it. And so we didn't try to half-ass elusives and half-ass the recalls and half-ass some of these Bandle City themes. We whole-assed the go wide Poppy style theme. And I think that worked out for us pretty good in the end. Got us to 7, so that at least counts for something. So, that is that. That is going to do it for us today. No rewards to click on. I think we're going to have to wait until February for rewards to show up. But nonetheless, that will do it for us today. I hope everyone enjoyed the trial. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. And, we missed out on the deck part. Maybe you learned how to grow them with your poppies. Man, nothing. I got nothing on that one. This is a week ending, and so hopefully you'll just accept the rest of the video as being good. Nonetheless, that is gonna do it. Everyone out there, have yourselves a good one.